Hi, boys and girls. I wanted to talk to you about your math assignments for this week for Monday and Tuesday. So, if you joined me on Zoom Monday and Tuesday, then you should already have this work done. If you missed a day or if you weren't quite sure about something, I wanted to post this video for you just so you have that extra help. So, when you look at page 1, it is a review problem. This is a word problem that you are going to show using the RACE method. RACE stands for read the entire problem, analyze what you're trying to figure out, choose a strategy to find a solution, and evaluate and check for reasonableness. So we're going to practice that with this first problem. It says that Anne counted 15 red candies and 23 yellow candies. She ate 5 red candies and 6 yellow candies. How many candies are left? So you're going to figure out, what's the problem asking? It's asking, how many candies does she have left? So you're going to write that in this box. What information do you need? Well, we need to know, whoops, my highlighter got a little crazy there. We need to know, how many did she start with? She started with 15 and 23. And then how many she ate? She ate 5 and 6. Down here, you are going to solve the problem. You're going to show your work. And then, does your answer make sense? So think about if it's how many she had left and she ate them. Your numbers should be smaller than what you started with. Now, I want to dive into page 2. This is where we first start learning about fractions for this week. So fractions are parts of a whole. If I have a whole pie or a whole pizza and I break it into equal fair shares, equal pieces, those are fractions. We've all heard the word 1/2. If you have a brother or a sister or a best friend, you might break apart a cookie in half and share it with them. That's equal to pieces. You would have 2 equal parts. Now, if you had to share between 3 people, that would be named 1/3 for 3 equal parts. And if you share with 4 people, that would be 1/4 for 4 equal parts. So there's different ways to name fractions. They're pretty easy to remember though, because we talk about 1/2 a lot in our usual lives. We'll say, I gave half the cookie to my brother. I ate a whole half of a pizza. All of these different things that we use half for. Third, we can see kind of sounds like 3. They have some of the same sounds. And you'll notice in the word fourth, it has the number 4. So once you practice with fractions, it becomes a lot easier to figure out which fraction matches how many pieces. Now, when we look at number 1, we need to think about which one shows equal parts. That means that they are all the same size. So let's look at A first, because it says all that apply. So there could be more than one. When I look at A, I have 1, 2 pieces. These pieces are the same size, so it shows equal parts. When I look at B, it has 1, 2, 3 pieces. These first 2 are the same size, but this last piece is a lot bigger. This one does not show equal parts. C has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. All 4 of these pieces are the same size. If I were to trace them out and share these pieces with somebody, we would all get the same amount. So C shows equal parts. D has 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Ooh, my shading today is not great. It has 4 pieces just like C, and they are all also the same size. So I know that D also has equal parts. Now let's look at how do we name these equal parts. Well, question 2, it asks me how many equal parts are there? 1, 2. There are 2 equal parts. Each part is called 1. What was it? Oh, I can look up here. It's called 1/2. Yes, 1/2. So I know each of these parts is worth 1/2. Let's look at number 3. 1, 2, 3 parts, and they're all the same size. Those are 3 equal parts. We call equal parts that are divided into 3 thirds. So each part is 1/3. All right, if you need to pause the video to write any of this down, go ahead and press pause and then press play when you're ready for page 3. Page 3 at the top says that we're going to divide rectangles to make 4 equal parts in each rectangle. But we need to show a different way for each of them. So if I have 2 sandwiches here, I could cut these sandwiches in different ways so that there are 4 equal parts in each of these sandwiches. I could cut it in half here and then in half again. I could also go a half, half, and half. I could even go up and down. So I'm going to grab 2 more rectangles. You don't have to do this part, but I did want to show you that there are other ways. Here we go. All right. I could go half, half, and half for 4 equal parts here. I could even go corner to corner. Whoops. Uh-oh. Those aren't very equal. Let me try again. Here we go. Corner to corner. Ooh, that's much better. Corner to corner. Boop. A little bit better. So if this was a perfect line that I'm not capable of creating today, then these would also be 4 equal parts. The only reason it doesn't look quite equal is because my lines aren't perfect. Question 5 asks, which triangle is divided into thirds? Remember, thirds is 3 equal pieces. And then explain. Well, let's look at triangle A. There's 1, 2, 3 pieces. Okay. Triangle B, 1, 2, 3 pieces. They each have 3 pieces. But I remember something. I remember that thirds have to be equal pieces. So I'm going to grab my marker tool. I'm going to grab like a bigger circle. Now, this top part takes 1 circle. This middle one takes about 2 circles. And this bottom one takes about 3 circles. Those aren't the same size. This one is 2, 2, and about 2. So I can see that triangle B has equal parts because each of those parts is about the same size. So which triangle is divided into thirds? Triangle B, because there are 3 equal parts. There are 3 equal parts. If you need to pause the video to type that, go ahead and press pause. Question 6. Each pizza is cut into fourths. There are 8 people that are going to be sharing these pizzas. If each person gets 1 slice, will everyone get the same amount of pizza? Explain your answer. So let's say that I see 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Those are fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Those are fourths again. So was 1/4 of this piece the same as 1/4 of this piece? Let's find out. Here's 1/4 here. And 1/4 here. If I got this piece of pizza, would it be the same size as if my friend got this piece of pizza? Nope. This piece is bigger because this pizza is bigger. So, will they get the same amount? No, because the second pizza is bigger. So that piece will be bigger. Oh my goodness, my typing today. There we go. If you need to pause the video to type that, go ahead and press pause. Now on page 4, we're working on naming fractions and shading them in. So when I look at my example, it shows me there's 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that each one of these parts is 1/6. 5 of them are shaded, which means 5 of the 6 pieces are shaded. We call that 5/6. Now we're going to practice on a couple of these. Let's look at our triangle. I see that there are one shaded piece, or there is one shaded piece, I should say. One of these pieces is shaded. There are 1, 2 equal parts altogether. So I would say that this fraction is called 1/2. 1 out of 2 equal pieces. Now let's look here. 1, 2 shaded parts. How many equal parts? Now sometimes we want to count the white pieces. Well, we have to count all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 equal parts altogether. So it's broken into sixths. There are 2 of those shaded. So the fraction that's shaded is called 2/6. Again, if you need to pause the video, go ahead and press pause. Page 5 is where we started day 2 of this assignment. You'll see another race word problem. Andrew has 59 toy wrestlers. He gives away 24 of them. How many wrestlers does he have left? Use your race strategy to find the answer. On page 6, we are going to continue identifying and shading in fractions. Shade the shape to show 3/4. Remember, this bottom number tells me how many pieces there are altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4. The top number tells me how many I need to color in. I'm going to use my highlighting tool because my marker tool will cover over the lines and I want to still be able to see the lines. So I'm going to use my highlighting tool. I'm going to choose a little bit bigger of a shape to color in 3 of the 4 pieces. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. 3 of the 4 pieces are shaded in. Our next problem says, show 2/6. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. I need to color in 2 of them. So again, I grab my highlighter. Here's 1 piece. Here's 2 pieces. See how we can still see the lines? If I used my marker tool and I used like a bigger dot, it would cover the lines. And then it would look like one big piece instead of showing that they're actually 2 smaller equal pieces. That's why we've been using our highlighter tool. Number 5, ooh, it gets trickier. Shade 3 parts. Okay, well, here's 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. There's 3 parts. What fraction is shaded? So this time it wants us to find the fraction. Well, again, I know my top number is how many pieces are colored in. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are colored in. How many are all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the fraction that's shaded is 3/8. 3 out of 8 pieces. Number 7, number 6. I got confused with 7 parts here. It says shade 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's 7 parts that are shaded. What fraction is shaded? Well, I colored in 7 pieces out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. 7/8 of this fraction is shaded. Now, on number 7, it says to draw the rectangle and show the parts if this is 1/4 of a rectangle. What I'm going to do instead is grab the shapes tool. I'm going to grab a rectangle. I'm going to put it over here, make it a little bit bigger so I can see all my pieces. It wants me to show the parts if it was divided into fourths. So if this was a 4th. So for this, I'm going to cut it in half. Ooh, that was not quite in half. Let me try again. Let's see, about here, cut in half, half again, and half again. So I've shown it cut into 4 pieces. Now, just like we did on the other page, on page 3, we showed a rectangle cut into lots of different shapes. You can cut it into 4 pieces crisscross. You can cut in 4 lines this way, into an X, whichever way works best for you. But they're all the same value. Number 8 is kind of tricky. We need to show a fourth of a triangle. So again, I'm going to grab my shapes, and I'm grabbing the green triangle. Now watch carefully what I do with it because it gets kind of tricky. I'm going to make my triangle nice and big so that's easier to work with. And I'm going to grab my marker tool. Now I'm going to go about here and make, not that line. Let me try again. And make a line straight across, kind of like this. Oh man, why can't I draw a straight line today? I think that's as good as it's going to get, guys. Now I'm going to go from this corner and go down. And then back up to make an upside down triangle. I know, right? Magic. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. They don't look quite equal because my lines aren't perfect again, but if I had perfect lines in this perfect shape, they would be perfectly equal pieces. And then it says, then shade 2/4 of the rectangle. So I grab my highlighter. Here's 1/4 and 2/4 of it shaded yellow. Pause this page if you need help with that triangle. On page 7, it's showing you a word problem. This is just the example. It's showing you how they solved the problem drawing a rectangle with 4/6 of it shaded. And they showed their work. First, I thought about how many equal parts are in 4/6. There are 6 equal parts. So I drew 6 rectangles in a row to make one big rectangle with 6 equal parts. Then I looked at the numerator, the top number. The 4 tells me that I should shade in 4 parts. And you can see they shaded in 4 parts. So 4/6 of the rectangle is shaded. This is to show you what you will do on page 8. So on page 8, you need to draw a rectangle with 3/8 of it shaded and explain how you decided what to draw. So I know that there are 8 equal pieces and 3 are shaded. So that's my explanation. What am I going to do? Well, I need a rectangle that has 8 equal parts with 3 of them shaded. So I'm going to grab my rectangle from my shapes bar. I'm going to move it down here. And the first thing I need to do is break it up into 8 equal pieces. And I can do that by going across for half, down for another half, and then down for another one. Think about how you can multiply to get 8. You can get an array of 8 by thinking 2 rows of 4, or 4 rows of 2, or 1 row of 8. Then I need to shade in 3 of those pieces. That's your task. Show me in words your explanation. Show me in a picture your explanation, and make sure that you shade 3 of those 8s. Have fun!